Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, to Ebony Championship Wrestling, where we hit the mat running with all things WWE. We dive into the biggest moments, the hottest rivalries, and we give the boldest predictions in pro wrestling. Wrestlemania has come and gone, and man, what to say? Let's leave it at that. Wrestling is cool. This is the ECW show. Let's get it. This is the Ebony Championship Wrestling Show. Please welcome to your screen the man of 100 holds, Montay, a.k.a. Coach Montay.
What's up? What up, Jackie? What up, Griff? Welcome back from Vegas, my brother. ECW fam. Can't wait to get into Mania itself. What a weekend, man. Like we said, most wonderful time of the year. Let's chop it up. Hey, as Jackie stated, what to say. So we here. Let's get into it.
You can follow him on Instagram at Coach Montay24. Rounding out this chat room is our resident tribal chief, Griff, aka Griff Nation.
What's up, ECW fam? The greatest and the best heel of all podcast land is in the building. I'm back from Vegas, ready to chop it up with my bros. And I got a new nickname that is forever eternal now, Mr. Wrestlemania. Let's get it.
You can find Griff on Instagram at GriffNation84 and on X at CGriff84. I am your host, the Jackie Miles, and as always, it's good to be on the screen with the boys. As stated before, WrestleMania has come and gone, and boy, has it received mixed reviews out there on the internet.
Oh, yeah.
Some loved every minute, some hated every decision not made by them. So let's go ahead and top it up and give our opinions on this, I guess. Let's talk WrestleMania and all things that come with it. Griff, my boy, you were in the building. Welcome back from Vegas, my boy. Go ahead and give us your thoughts on the overall show. And if you could, include one like and one dislike about WrestleMania.
Yeah, being in the building, first and foremost, the atmosphere was very electric. A lot of our legs and feet were hurting because we decided to walk and not pay an expensive amount of money to get Ubers and lifts to the arena. But with all that being said, fellas, man, I feel like the show was great. I rate with both nights combined, I would give this like a 8.5 in my opinion. This is the full Triple H era. My popcorn was out. My water bottle was in hand. I just came in to enjoy the show, and I really, really got a lot of excitement join the show, waiting to see what happened versus sitting there predicting and expecting. So that's a big difference as it is, man. But far as the thing I like, everything is so much to choose from. But there's one thing I would say I liked of the whole thing. It was to see my boy. If I go with two, I'm sorry, I gotta go with two, y'all. I'm gonna break the rules a little bit, man. But it was cool to see Jey and my boy Jacob win those titles on night one. That's the one thing I liked. The thing I didn't like, I really didn't have much of a dislike. It was just like whatever. But if I had to go on one thing that I dislike, I would say that would probably be the Tiffany and Charlotte match. No, I take that back. That match was kind of good athletically, but I just didn't feel it. The scene kind of dry during the Ray Phoenix match to me versus the Charlotte Tiffany, in my opinion, just being in the building. So those two is neck and neck, but if I had to choose one dislike, that would be that match for me.
Okay. Coach, any thoughts towards WrestleMania, my boy?
Yeah, man. Obviously having a great time at your crib and splitting cribs, and so it was good fellowship as well, being on Easter. But yeah, soaking that in. Overall, I told you how the way I was leery about the build and hoping that the matches would live up to the billing, and I almost there. Few of them did, and then most of them didn't. So I'm gonna rate it, man. Honestly, 7 out of 10 my way. The thing that I appreciated was every decision. The belts, a lot of belt changes, a lot of title changes. All of them were the right call. May not agree how they got there. All of them was the right call. Maybe surprisingly, except one retaining. I was very shocked that Tiff retained, and we'll get into that. But I'm talking about just where the direction of where we're headed now, storylines, all of that. I can appreciate the fact that okay, reset. Let's get these titles changed. So I did appreciate that. Other than that, but how we got there, kind of kind of sucked. Honestly, that's one thing. And then obviously the thing that I'm gonna give a shout out to the stage. I'm gonna give a shout out. I'm just going with the ambiance. Obviously, Griffey was there. That stage was fire, man, and it looked even better on. I'm sure you seen it in person was crazy, but seeing it on TV, man, with the fans in there, that they stepped it up. They always step it up a notch with the stage and all that. So I can appreciate that. The thing I didn't like was, hey, my boy Dwayne, where are you? Rock. That
Mm,
just I just didn't
mm,
appreciate how at least be present when a story for a heel turn of that magnitude, that if that's impacting the business that way, you could at least showed up, in that when it counted. So I didn't. It was the fact that I disliked him not being there in that moment. I obviously will get into that, but nah, man, you got to show up even if he was going to get a 17. But
Let's go
yeah.
ahead and go there now
Hmm.
since that's already on topic. Let's go ahead and discuss Cody and John Cena. John Cena's heel turn has turned out, fill in the blank here. Griff, what do you think? John
ooh.
Cena's heel turn has
Turned
fill in the blank.
marvelous.
Interesting.
Marvelous is my point. For one, this is what us adults today wanted 20 years ago. And John Cena's going out doing things my way. And what I'm learning with John Cena heel turn, again, the key word is expectation. Don't expect what's going to happen or what he's going to do. It's more listening to what he's saying in his promos and details. Because one of the key things I follow with John is he's a man of his word, and a lot of things he's been saying in this run has been coming to fruition, and he's been sitting there backing it up. He said he was going to win the title. He won the title. He said he was going to make Cody look like a fool, and he did that. He didn't explain in any detail why or what he was going to do, but he just did those things. Far as that, I'm very excited for John. I am on this roller coaster with him. He said it best on Pat McAfee show. I know you guys watched the interview, but he literally shut all the questions down by saying, I'll spoil anything else, but I'm not spoiling nothing that I'm going to do. You just got to sit back and watch, tune in on Raw, tune on the SmackDown, and see what I'm going to do. But I'm not telling nobody nothing. But here's my number of appearances that's left, and just get your popcorn and get this show ready.
Mhm.
Coach.
Yeah, if I can then get one word, I would say it necessary and entertaining up to this point. So from everything Griff just said, I love the outcome. We predicted the outcome. I enjoy seeing John in this capacity doing his thing. Like we said, like not and Jackie, this is me and you, and obviously Wise Man watching it all weekend. We're not disagreeing with the decision. It's just how clunky it was to get there, and so, yeah, the mechanical pace of the match, it wasn't the greatest, but seeing him raise that belt and walk out of there the way he did with it, him putting it on, showing it backwards and all that, that's great, and I'm here for it. So it's yeah, I would say it's necessary and needed, and it will be entertaining. Looking forward to what he's going to do next with Randy.
Yeah, let's go there. Like Randy
Hmm.
Orton pops up and on Monday night and catches John Cena. Do we really want Randy Orton, John Cena in 2025? Like, this is the tour that we're on, gentlemen? Is that Griff? I know you're on board, it seems. Is this what we want?
Yeah, absolutely. Here's the reason why. Because we all know that's one of the great rivalries of all time. And those,
No.
that's like subscribe to this channel and watch this, that was one of my Griff picks early on when we started doing this podcast is one of my top rivals of all time. It makes sense because, this is something that, hey, John Cena has this man on his list. It's something that needs to go out. Let's have it one last time. Again, let's not expect that it's going to be the same as we saw, 10, 15 years ago when that rivalry was a little bit younger and fresh. But you're in Randy Orton's backyard. You're in St. Louis, and you got John Cena coming in town as the bad guy. Randy Orton is the hero and the hometown hero, right? So why not have this match? I mean, it's something we get right now. It's going to be a one and done, in my opinion. It's not going to be a long story rival that's going to last the whole year. But while we on this tour, why not get two of the greatest future Hall of Famers of all time and the best rivalries of all time? You know what I'm saying? Get it on one last time, man. While it's here, let's go ahead and make it happen right now.
My only question to that, and I'm absolutely on board with what you're saying, and I understand why you're saying it, and I too probably want the match at some point. However, does this not push down the younger talent that might have gotten something off of a John Cena rub on this last tour? Not saying that I'm against the match, not at all, and I'm not saying that this is not going to happen, but is there something to say about putting up your young talent up against John Cena on this tour? To you, Griff.
I would say no. And the reason why is because we're in April going in May. We still got a lot of days and appearances and things that's left in the calendar. We don't know who else is going to be.
27. That's it. You think about how many. Yeah, we're down to 27.
I know.
You think about how many days that actually this brother has 1 month in the next 7. Like that's what that's saying.
Be a lot to squeeze in.
You know what I'm saying? Like he has essentially 1 whole month of appearances in the next 7 months, and it's like, are we gonna get something out of John Cena in that time? I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. I apologize. Go ahead.
No, I mean, 27 seems like a short number of appearances. I mean, that's still like a lot of number. Like, you're right below 30 and still above 20. Like I said, anything can go, but we all know somewhere near Randy Orton was on that list. We just didn't know when, but as is right now, get the OG right now, and then that opens up room for whoever next after Randy. Like I said, this is going to be a one and done thing. You're in Randy Orton's backyard, and why not go ahead and get these legends out the way and then see who's next and who's going to be in the marching block for seeing the next. I'm hoping it's someone young as well. I'm with that as well, too. Yeah. But I don't think this is just going to be a tour just with all Cena and his past OGs. But I think with them being friends, one of the greatest rivalries, the gift from them and from WWE to us one last time is to see this with our own 2 eyes.
That makes sense.
Yeah, we got to do the date in St. Louis. We knew that was coming. I think another legend, Jackie, that needs to be added to that list, and then from there he can roll out and get the younger, fresh talent rub, and maybe he can get that rub. Obviously, it has to be younger talent to get it off of him. I was saying he needs to. I know Punk is intertwined with this storyline after how the way the triple threat ended, which is good. But he does need to fight CM Punk at least one more time too. Because of their rivalry, and I still believe to this day that was one of John's greatest matches between him and Punk. What they did 10 years ago. So that's only fitting that he would fight Punk on the way out. And then it does need to be a young up and coming talent that gets the belt off of him, and then he does need to retire on his back. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I don't disagree with anything that you guys are saying. I'm just asking the question. So my next question is, with John Cena going over in this moment, and I know we've discussed burying a lot on this show, but how do we feel about Cody coming out of this, right? Because that it's not a great look that our champion that worked so hard to get to this point, and I understand where we're headed in the storyline, but it's just, to me, it's not a great look when we've gotten to this point where this guy has been built up and he has carried this company into what is now one of the most prosperous times in WWE's history. And now we're like, boom, okay, let's take it back nostalgia and let's go back 20 years and give it to John Cena. I understand where we are. I understand the storyline, and I understand what's getting ready to happen with John Cena. However, what does that do to Cody? Is my question. Coach, go ahead, and then we'll come to you.
No matter how you slice it, this was on my mind too, because the outcome of the match, I said, man, they made Cody look like a punk on the way out. I expected a dog fight. I expected like false finishes. I expected, more suspenseful moments in that match, similar to what we got night one. I'm raving about that triple threat in comparison. If you want to compare to both main events, but no, I think there was more suspense needed. They spent a year building to finish the story, and for him to go out like a punk like that, great the outcome. But that's why I said at the beginning what I said. Dwayne needed to be intertwined in that some way to kind of hey, we both screwed. Yeah, me and Travis Scott screwed you. Like we showed up at Elimination Chamber. I believe it still should have ended in that fashion. Yeah.
Griff.
I want to point out two things on this. My first thing I want to point out is we know Ric Flair was always named the dirtiest player of the game.
Oh yeah, that's
And
true.
I believe, out of respect to Flair, Cena got 17 to surpass him by being the dirtiest player of the game. Like all Cena championship wins and runs were won clean. This is one that was kind of won a little bit dirty.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to point that out. But another thing, I do agree with, Cody looked at like soft, he looked at weak. And I was like, man, even moms had texted me like, John Cena still got it. Like Cody ain't looking like he was looking against Roman last year. She literally texted me that. Like,
Yeah,
yo, like, okay,
right.
Mom, Griff, you paying attention, okay?
It is
But what I want to say for number 2 for me about this is I don't blame John Cena all on this. I really want to know the creative and the writers who came up with the finish. I blame them for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get The Rock wasn't there, but for me, when Travis Scott music hit, it sucked the momentum. And I'm just telling you guys from in the building. I'm being in the building versus y'all watching it.
Yep.
In the building, to me, it sucked a lot of momentum out the match because it took you an Undertaker entrance through your whole theme song just to get to the ring, and everything just stopped. Like, okay, you just stopped. You know what I'm saying? No, seriously, you just stopped. But if you would have like ran to the ring, or your music was playing, or you came out from under the ring or out the crowd while Cody's distracted and hit him below the belt or something like that, totally different ball game. But you literally walked out with your theme music on, like it took forever to get there. To me, I feel like that sucked a lot of momentum out. But also, again, we're really blaming the creative and the writers who came up with this finish more than anything. Although we all felt Cena was going to win, it was just the finish that led to the end that really like threw things off, and like to me made me feel bad for Cody because one point you was about to hit him with once you just had stairs about to hit AJ Styles a few months ago, and he quit. But you got a belt and you afraid to hit John Cena with it? Like, that don't connect.
I saw a lot of people talking about the fact that they only had the last 2 months or whatever since Elimination Chamber to kind of plan this out. And it seemed as though they didn't really have a plan going forward to know where they were going to go.
That's
and a lot of people are upset about this, or thinking that they should have been able, or that they should have done something differently. And I think about like the main events from last year, and I think about the fact that very similar, that's all the time that they had. It was post Elimination Chamber, and I'm terrible with dates when it comes to WWE, but it was post Elimination Chamber. The Rock had the Rock had come back, and Cody had shook his hand and gave him his main event, and then people went nuts, and they had to pivot from that point and put on the show that they put on, and they hit on so many historic things, and they made all the callbacks to previous things of the past. And it was like, damn, that's right, Seth did hit him with a chair. Damn, that's right, the Undertaker and the Rock do have like this whole thing, right? Like all of the different callbacks in that moment. There were so many different things that they could have called back on in this feud between Cody and John, and it gave us none of that. It fell very, very flat. Did we know John Cena was going to win? Yes. Absolutely. But to involve Travis Scott in the shitty way that they involved him, it was really, really bad. John Cena's attempt to be a heel in a match gave me nothing. I'm sorry. Y'all are saying that John did whatever. It gave me nothing. Like, I was very, very bored in the middle of that match, and it made Cody look like a bitch, like y'all said, because how are you building yourself up to be one of the greatest heels of all time, in my opinion, in Roman? You built yourself up to do all of that, and now you're back to being the underdog to John? And I understand where we're going. I get what you're trying to tell me as far as storyline goes, but execution is half the battle. And I feel like the execution of this feud, this storyline, has fallen. Now, are we headed somewhere else? I hope so. But when it comes to WrestleMania being the Super Bowl and being the show of shows and the thing where I'm out of my seat because I'm so excited about what's happening on my screen,
Right.
that moment had nothing, when I was up out of my seat screaming at the screen, had nothing to do with John Cena and Cody. It was Dom. It was Dominic Mysterio.
Oh, yeah.
That was the one that made me pop the most. And yet, you can't give me false finishes. You can't give me a chair shot or something like this in the John Cena Cody match to make me believe that John's actually a heel and to save Cody. It just, the execution of it was, I think, was absolutely awful. It brought down WrestleMania as it was. It wasn't a great WrestleMania from the start. I'm sorry, I'm now recapping because I didn't say this earlier.
Yeah, you didn't say
it wasn't a great WrestleMania from the start. Thank God for night one's main event.
Main event saved it.
Thank God for that main event. So now let's go there. I'm done with my rant. Griff, what were your thoughts on the triple threat and then the aftermath? I'm sorry, it did nothing for me.
That scuffed your Timbs.
It absolutely
coming next week.
We'll get to that later. We'll get to that later. Go ahead, Griff. Night one main event.
The main event was very much what I expected. Again, you can't trust Paul Heyman. And the only thing about this main event, I felt like they gave it away to me on Raw a couple weeks ago when Seth attempted to curb stomp Paul, and he didn't, and he said, now you owe me a favor. And that right there, to me, you just open up the door and just let everybody know, like, we see this coming. Like, if you really, so... but other than that, man, the match was great. It was entertaining. It was at a great, smooth, perfect pace, if that makes sense. It wasn't nothing rushed. It wasn't nothing slow. It was just like everything went at the pace. Like when it was time to slow down, everybody slowed down. When it was time to pick it up, everybody was together picking it up. So outside the rivalries and the hatred these guys have, whether if it's kayfabe or not, I just really like the detail of the match to see the chemistry that Roman, CM Punk, and also Seth Rollins had with one another to be in this type of match and that type of pressure for over 40, 45 minutes into that. But I think the finish, to me, was very much predictable, not because we knew that Paul was going to do it, but after he did that with Punk and went to Roman, we just knew it was coming, So other than that, I enjoyed it. It was great. I give it a 9 out of 10. Not a perfect 10, but I give it a 9 out of 10. And it was a great cap off to night one.
Coach?
Oh, man, I'm going extra mile. I'm going to say 10 out of 10 because, Jackie and I know we can appreciate good drama and good theater. Being that we done some plays here or there, and I mean that in the sense of the wise man, the GOAT managers of all, manager of all time, the job that he did controlling all three of these guys, man, that's awesome. That was the biggest thing for me. And then the match itself, I went going back and watching it numerous times. It was they all played to their strengths. The chemistry was there. And it was a damn good, entertaining match from start to finish. Everything was on time. They were in sync. It was focused. Taking them, the action outside of the ring, going into the crowd. It was everything that you wanted. That actually saved, held both nights. And like you said, Jack, you saved both nights. In my opinion. But no, the genius of Paul Heyman just being able to manipulate, and he can turning from babyface to heel, and that you see how the way he was talking to Roman that toward the end of the match was obviously that's my favorite part. The kicking in the nuts, obviously, but the way he was talking to each, the way he was talking to Punk, like he was to be communicated. Hey, best in the world, I'm with you now. Then boom, got him, and then my tribal chief, and just the way he was able to, to manipulate, man, and be deviant. And that was much appreciated. So give Paul Heyman the flowers and MVP just as much as those three. Yeah, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's real. What I appreciated about this triple threat and the women's triple threat.
Oh yeah.
That the pace of each move was done very, very well.
Yeah.
You think about there was one spot where, I'm sorry, I'm going to get this wrong, guys. Oh, there was a GTS that CM Punk hit Seth with. Roman speared Punk, and then Seth hit Roman with the curb stomp. And it's like to have those, and this happened a few times with different moves, but that was the part that got me, because it's like, oh, one guy's down, what's going to happen next? And it just, the pace of it all was really, really good. So I appreciated that. And to me, the storytelling along the way, from start to finish, all the way up to the Paul Heyman moment, the storytelling was great, man. And like I said, it saved the whole Mania for me, because I kept thinking like, damn, why am I not feeling well right now? Oh, this WrestleMania. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was something different about it.
Yeah, it was I couldn't put quite oh, this is terrible. That's what it is. Oh, okay. No, but that match to me told the best storyline, and now I'm thinking like, okay, we're headed towards let's say Bloodline 2.0 or 3.0. Let's say that, right? We're not necessarily about the bloodline itself, but the dramatic storylines and things like that. Can we be headed towards that with these three guys?
Yeah.
Because now you guys, Seth Rollins, and obviously we need to head in the direction of Braun Breaker, but now you got a dangerous alliance from ECW that we can move forward with.
Yeah.
You know, I add in, if you're reading the internet correctly, add in Becky Lynch to that somewhat. We're headed in a different direction, and you know what I mean? Like, so what are our thoughts on Braun Breaker joining the fray, and possibly, if this ever happens, Becky Lynch? Coach, I would love to hear your thoughts on the Becky Lynch part.
Yes, please. Please. I literally wish like I could have seen his face when that music hit, but yes,
true story.
Please.
It dropped. The dropped in your spirit, Lord. So it dropped. Wise man's on the. It dropped in my spirit, and I told Jackie and I told the wise man. I said, "Hey, it's going to be Becky Lynch." And then they looked at us like, "Oh my God, yes it is." I said, I called it, and it actually needs to happen, because the reason why that match was so intriguing, and it, dude, we talk about storylines, we talk about the amount of matches that's going to come out of that match. It's man, possibilities are endless. But back to Braun Breaker, that was necessary. We seen that on NXT last year. I think it was the same night he confronted the Undertaker.
Yeah.
When Undertaker came out, obviously gave him the rub. Same night, Paul Heyman was right there in the locker room with him. I said, "Oh, this is great. This will be even better than Brock Lesnar." I think because he's so damn athletic, so damn explosive. I said, "This could be even better." So the seeds were planted even last year, and I always said, and I always thought to myself in the back of my mind, what will Paul Heyman do once his run with Roman is over? And this is perfect. He can retire doing this. He can go out with reestablishing what he did as Paulie Dangerously. Now Becky Lynch, Jackie, I will appreciate, though. Yeah, she coming back, and I was like, I'm not happy to see you, but in that capacity, if you're with Paul, okay, buckle in. We're gonna do a faction with that woman with Seth and Becky together. I'm here for it, because that allows us who we're gonna put up against them. The more matches, more entertaining. WWE will be real on fire then. So I'm actually okay with Becky being in there as long as she's here. Yeah.
Griff.
All right, so I'm gonna take y'all on a little journey real quick with this one. I'm gonna start with Becky Lynch first, okay? I learned something Sunday night at night 2, and this is what I learned. Many people were disgusted to say, why did Becky and Lyra win the titles in the first place and then lose on the next night? What I learned was sometimes it takes another storyline to create another storyline. And what I mean by that is that, and I know I'm going a little bit over, but I'm going to bring it back in.
You're good.
Raquel and Liv lost the belts to start the Becky Lynch heel turn on Sunday night that we didn't see coming Monday.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't make sense for Dominic to win the belt and then Liv and Raquel not have belts going into this new Judgment Day story, because we all seen what's going on with Finn and Dom. So now that's the lick back. Now I'm coming back to Becky Lynch now. Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins with Paul Heyman both as heels probably be the next best, if not best, power couple since Triple H and Stephanie McMahon back in the day. Okay?
I can see that.
But this is what I really want to bring back to you guys. I know, Jackie, you say your memory sometimes be like that. So this is long-term storytelling, right? Remember, right before War Games, there was a segment where Seth Rollins, when he already made his decision that he was not teaming up with the Bloodline OGs to go against the new Bloodline with Solo, he was talking to Braun Breaker backstage. We seen the detail, but we never knew what it meant, and now it's carried on to here. There was a time in NXT when Paul Heyman went down and became Braun Breaker's manager before Breaker came to the main roster. So that was the Heyman man. But the biggest thing I really wanted to point out, fellas, is, Jackie, you just alluded to about the new bloodline going against this faction, however it's being built. I'm going to say right now the bloodline is dead because everybody's going solo. But it can get revived later. And here's the reason why I say it can get revived later. Don't forget the interactions that Braun Breaker and Jacob Fatu been having either, too. It could be a situation where Jacob Fatu could come to Roman's side to counter that. I'm not fantasy booking it, but I'm just planting that seed in the head so that way, if it does happen, that's a long-term storybook. And so just always pay attention to these interactions. Although nothing's happening right away, I'm seeing anything that's dealing with Heyman is something that can happen months from now that can happen.
That's it, bro.
Oh yeah. I'm all on board with that, especially from the fact that WWE does that a lot. They plant things in the background of things
Easter
just to
eggs.
see how you feel about it. Like you're gonna say something about whatever's in the background, and so we want to test this to see how you feel about it. And they do a great job of that. And then they do a great job of like all of the callbacks to it. Like we remember it, and we hope you do too. Right? Don't treat us like we stupid. Like show us the thing, and if you're gonna do something with it later on, we'll wait for it. So and I that's why I think like the internet is so upset with Dwayne because he did the neck thing. He showed up at Elimination Chamber. He did the neck thing, and it's like, let's wait on it. Like let's give it some time. That's not the part that upset me. John Cena is the part that upset me. But like let's wait on it. And to your point, they plant a lot of seeds, and we just have to be patient enough to make sure that like we give it some time to come through. So. So I'm definitely with you on that one. Let's lightning round a few of these boys because we want to save some time here. But let's discuss a few of these things that happened at Mania and either at SmackDown or on Raw. And let's try to get through this a little bit. The Sin City Street Fight. What was our quick thoughts on Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre? Coach, that's over to you.
Drew, my boy, with the dub. Love him taking the selfie and going viral as he's whooping his ass. Great job. Now he's on. Hopefully, some bigger and better things coming on. Coming for him.
Griff?
No, I 100% agree. That was a great street fight. I liked the finish to it. It wasn't bad at all. Of course, I had Drew coming out on top. He definitely needed this more than Damian Priest, in my opinion. And Drew came up and showed up, and he took back from what happened to him last year at WrestleMania when he had the title for 2-3 minutes.
A Claymore into a chair in the corner is definitely a great finish, and it's top 3 for me from this WrestleMania for sure. AJ Styles and Logan Paul for some reason wrestled each other, and what are our thoughts there, Griff?
Logan Paul doesn't, shock me. The guy's talented, man, and I know some people didn't really care for the match, but I mean, it's AJ Styles, another future Hall of Famer. But Logan Paul did what he normally do, man. He go in there and talk his cash. He gonna show out how talented he is, but more importantly, he got a cheat code in his bag. So, I'm going with the heels all day. The heels gonna cheat and gonna do something to try to cheat. You should have came prepared and ready. So, well-deserving victory for Logan Paul, and that's 2 WrestleMania losses, I think. No, he won last year. My fault. I'm thinking about 2 years ago he lost, but he got in the WrestleMania win, and he cashed out.
Finally got a win, Coach.
Yeah, I was glad to see him go over. Well deserved. They got plans for him for sure. If you're gonna go over against AJ Styles still looks good. He's getting ready to go into looks like a feud with Karrion Kross, which Karrion Kross needs to be pushed. So excited for that. Yep.
It'll be nice to see some new blood with Karrion Kross. I know that's not the topic here, but it would be nice to see some new blood there. The New Day steal a win and take off running up the ramp as they finished. Congrats to them on a win and winning the titles there. Coach, how you feel about the New Day?
Oh, man. it's a new day. That coach actually likes the new day now.
Mhm.
The Booty-O's was great in 2016. The only thing I wanted from them was just do something fresh and new. And now they got the titles. Obviously, couldn't get cleared because they could have did a deeper story if he was available. But no, great call. I'd love to see what they're gonna do. They should hold these for a while.
Griff?
Very entertaining, not surprised. They pulled the victory off. They had some tricks and sleeves up the bag, as typical bad guys would do. And now they got the belts in their hand, and now they come out talking cash trash, man, and going through the stats and letting them know they're the best tag team, ever graced. So here we are.
Carmelo Hayes gets a win in the Andre the Giant Battle Memorial Tournament, or whatever the hell it was. And we finally got the ending to Game 7 that we deserved between Carmelo Hayes and Andrade at the end of that match, which I appreciated. What are our thoughts here? Griff, go with you.
I couldn't wait for this one because, again, we all talked about this, man. Carmelo been patient, and we've been saying, let's not rush the process. And again, y'all know how big I am about the term bury. I was tired of hearing everybody in the internet world talking about WWE's burying Carmelo, which they wasn't. Carmelo was doing what he's supposed to do. He was going in there, taking bumps, taking hits with the veterans, setting them up for this. So now, that's going to catapult his career in this year, and I'm excited for the man and looking forward to see what he's going to do after this victory.
Oh yeah,
Coach?
that's what happens, man. You get rewarded. Yeah, say what you want about him, man. The dude's a workhorse, man. I call him the Black Shawn Michaels. He's I'm saying that's my comparison now. He's coming to work. He's been coming to work, man, and I'm glad to see him. Glad to see him get paid.
I'm sorry, I lost my place there. But I do agree with you guys. Carmelo Hayes has put in the work, and he is definitely he got his comeuppance, right? He got his payout, as we always say. Like, as long as you're doing your job, man, they're gonna find a way to make sure that you get some type of payout or payoff at the end of the day. And I believe that this one is the one for him. The women's tag team match saw a replacement at the last second as Bailey was sidelined. Again, maybe we're waiting on her payout, is what I'll say there. But I do want to ask you guys your thoughts on Becky Lynch taking her place and then them dropping the belts right back the next night. We kind of hit on this with Becky going heel earlier, but we didn't talk about the actual scenario of Liv and Raquel dropping the belts at Mania to Becky and Lyra, and then getting them right back the next day. Griff, are you with this, against this? What's happening?
I'm with it. And again, I tried to explain a little bit in the earlier segment. It's weird to explain it. First and foremost, I was at SmackDown. I had no idea, like no video footage or nothing, no idea Bailey was attacked. I found out Bailey was not in the match at night one when they were showing the previews of the matches for the next night. And she had a dark shadow, and everybody's looking like, "What the hell happened to Bailey?" So it's like, "Yeah, she got attacked. Like Lyra got to get a mystery partner." So, Coach, although you predicted it that day, I predicted along with everybody else the night before. I was like, Becky, it makes sense because Becky was backstage. Becky's in town. Got to be Becky, right? But again, fellas, and I'm sorry if I'm going too long, but I'm trying to make it make sense. And like I was saying, that's what I learned. Sometimes another storyline creates another storyline. And what I meant was, like, although it seemed weird, the benefit of Raquel and Liv was to get the tag team belts the next night because they the 4-time or the most tag team champions of all time. That's a creation. And then also it created the Lyra and Becky Lynch situation in heel side as well too. So I'm with it. I don't think Bailey was buried, because from what I was told, I saw on Twitter, that was the actual plan in the story in the first place. It wasn't Becky came back and buried Bailey, which the internet world was creating. I guess it was something that was already in the cooking the story too. Because remember, we even talked about, like, why Bailey and Lyra's in a tag situation and they just had an intercontinental feud and then they in a tag match. But I guess apparently it was already planned for Becky Lynch to return. So yeah, it's weird to explain it, but I get it. Like, you had to do stupid stuff to create two different avenues and two different storylines with different talent.
Coach, you go first.
I didn't.
Uh-oh.
What's that? Oh, I didn't like the decision that night. I wanted to see Bailey, but I understand. Okay, now I understand. There's much more to it. So yeah, but no, Jackie, to your point, there's got to be something huge coming for her. Freshen her up a little bit, and let's see what we can do to get her back on top the right way.
I'm not with the internet as far as like Bailey needs to go somewhere else and do all those things. I'm not with that. And Griff, I hear you. It was a part of the plan. Triple H came out and said that day. And the attack wasn't during SmackDown. The attack was during night one. It was during the pre-show of night one. Yeah, that's why you guys didn't see it. It was during the pre-show.
Okay.
And I understand that was the plan, and that was always where we were headed. However, bad plan. Because if we're bringing back Becky, I'm good with bringing back Becky, but you also have Raw after Mania, which is always like a great safe haven for people who are returning to come back and always get a response. Why not have Bailey and Lyra go at it, or Bailey and whomever have that match against Liv and Raquel at Mania? Let Liv and Raquel have their moment and finish it, and then the next night, let Becky come back and return and say, we're going to challenge for the titles. Pick up Lyra on the way and say, like, this is what we're going to do. You lose that match, and then you have the same exact situation that you have where we're headed, right? Heel turn right there, and now we're good. So I'm with you, Griff. That's the plan. I'm good with that. But like, damn, like Bailey should have been on the show. It's not like Bailey's been like chilling and they haven't like been back at catering and they was like, oh, we need to put her on the show. She has actually put in work on both SmackDown, Raw, and let's be honest, NXT for a little bit when she was there. So like, I wasn't happy with them just like throwing the team together. And now that I see that this is the result of it, it's like, I don't like that either, because right there, you could have just had Bailey pick up another partner. It didn't have to necessarily be Lyra. Lyra could have had a match on the card or on the pre-show or something like that. But like, I don't know. I just didn't like the plan that we used to get to where we are. And hopefully the results of where we are a lot better than how we got here. And I kind of feel, and I know you guys kind of feel this way too, kind of feel that way about most of the card. Am I wrong in saying that? Like, as far as like build up and execution, am I wrong in saying that? Griff?
Again, it's just interesting of what these writers and these and creative are doing. Are they doing stuff on the fly? So my question is, are they doing stuff on the fly, or are they in a position where like, dang, we really don't have nothing in the bag, like we don't know what to do at this point, or we're kind of behind, you know what I'm saying?
There's no way they can say we have nothing to do. Come on.
No. I'm just being sarcastic the way things are going. I'm just being sarcastic by like how things are being lately built or last minute. It's like, I feel like these people out here being bored and got nothing to do. You know what I'm saying? They're just like, okay, we're just gonna throw this together versus like taking the time and going to sleep with it. Hey, like, let's do this. But I won't say I it's one of those for me. I see and I get the rap that they're trying to do. I just can't say that I agree or disagree with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, okay, like, this is different. Like, I see what they're trying to do, and I get the whole Bailey thing. I feel the same way. I think Bailey is very underappreciated. Y'all should go check out the Chris Van Vliet interview if y'all haven't already, because you could tell she tried to be humble with it, but you could tell like it bothered her. You know what I'm saying? It bothered me just to see her choked up, and she is getting depreciated. But I see what they're doing, trying to get Becky Lynch and Coach. Last time Becky Lynch returned, where did she return? SummerSlam. And what building was it in?
I made that. I told Jackie and Ryan the same thing. I said right back in Allegiant. Yep. So.
Yeah, but if y'all really want, and I want to stay here long, if y'all really wanted my honest gut feeling, I really wanted to see at least Piper or Alba Fire or what was the other tag team in this situation than a Lyra, because it's like Lyra's the Intercontinental Champion, but then you got her in a tag team match.
Why is she not defending it?
That could have been.
She don't even have to be on the card for me.
No.
I was good with Chelsea defending whatever Friday night. Fine. That's where we're going to be. I'm cool with that. Because everything can't be on the card. But you could at least have something for her. There has to be somebody. Where's the pit bull from American Made? Where's Ivy now? How is she not fighting Lyra right now? Like, what are we doing with that? I appreciate having the titles. I'm glad that we came up with something, but damn, can we defend them ever? Like Chelsea Green has taken that and she's done so much with that title. Lyra has done nothing. And I don't know if it's from a creative standpoint or if it's from a Lyra standpoint, but between the two of y'all need to get that shit together because nothing is happening with Lyra. Nothing is happening.
Bro, I'm going to go back to what I said before. SmackDown creative writers are not the same as Raw creative writers. And that is what I'm saying. Like, what's going on? Because you guys are on Netflix. You can't tell me Ivy now, Shayna Baszler, and Zoe Stark. Them three, you can't do nothing with her in the Intercontinental Championship. Come on, bro. Like, Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler is in catering chilling. Sonya Deville is gone. God bless her in her new endeavor. She is gone. Break that up. Put them in singles. Zoe Starks and Shayna Baszler are too damn good to sit in catering, waiting for an opportunity. Shayna Baszler has rap shot NXT, and Zoe Stark literally did the same thing and was under Trish Stratus' wing. And we can't find nothing for them along with Ivy Nile in this situation. Okay. I rest my case. Sorry.
I don't necessarily like fantasy booking, and I don't necessarily like that people get super upset when the thing that they thought was going to happen didn't happen. Like, you're not a booker. You're not the person that's writing the show. So, like, relax on that. However, I would just like to know what's happening with these people and why we're not getting them on the show. Is it from a creative standpoint where you have nothing for them and we don't have enough time? Okay, maybe I'll eat that. Or is it from a superstar standpoint? It's like they're not presenting something or they're not giving us something that we can work with or whatever. But whatever it is, bro, we need to get the shit figured out because I would like to see Lyra on the show. I would like to see Shayna Baszler on the show, to your point. I would like to see some of the mid-card people like actually get some work. Because right now what you're headed into is about a 30-minute promo from John Cena every week or for the next 27 appearances, and we're not going to get to see those people. And that's my only complaint about it. That's my only complaint about it. My only complaint. Let's keep going though. As we got a few more matches to get through. Let's lighten around a few more of these. Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair. What are our thoughts here quickly? Coach, over to you, because I know Griff has a lot he wants to get off his chest when it comes to this one.
It's the most terrible build ever for a women's match. I'm saying in Mania history. I know I might be over dramatic, but the match almost saved it. It was okay because it still allowed them to show who they are as athletes, and I think they did a good job. And so, but surprisingly, I was surprised, Jackie. I thought Charlotte was going to get that title off of her.
Yeah. Agreed. Griff?
I thought Charlotte was going to win it as well. The match was not bad at all. It was just the build leading up to it and the personal shots and things that turned me off and got me out of it. But the match itself wasn't bad. I thought Charlotte was going to win. To me, she dominated the entire match. And, the match was done, man. She took it as a queen, took it as a champion, walked off with her head in her hand, said, okay, I lost this one. So we'll see what's next if this continues or they both go their separate ways. Being honest, I hope they go their separate ways and be done.
Dominic Mysterio picks up a dub over Braun Breaker, Penta, and Finn Balor, all to the applause from Ebony Championship Wrestling. How do we feel about this one? Griff, let's start with you.
Probably one of the biggest pops of both nights, in my opinion. Shout out to my section. My section was Io Sky, John Cena, and Dominic Mysterio all night, majority from San Diego. So we kind of caught it, like Dom got to win it. Dom is going to pin Finn. This is going to create this friction between the two. And right when I seen Dom hanging over that thing, I said, Finn going to slip and he going to flip up and did that frog splash. It's going to be game over. But, bro, it popped. We were so excited for him. And, my part I like, too, is when he ran out the ring like he was going up the ramp. Then he turned around and said, "Man, bump it." Ran back in the ring, started
Take my
celebrating.
moment. Take
The
my
whole
moment.
place just blew up, man. Like probably biggest pop of the weekend, man. Like that was dope.
Coach?
Yeah, that just when the Judgment Day was getting was like, oh my God, are they about to get stale? They're about to write them off and go in another direction. This is what they needed. This is a fresh shot in the arm for that faction. And
Mm-hmm.
then with JD coming back the next night made it even bigger.
Yeah.
So that yeah,
Yep.
a great place. Obviously the dude's a workhorse. All that nuclear heat, that real heat he got, paid off. So I'm happy to see him with it.
It was nice to see like the whole stadium going
Oh
nuts
yeah.
for him. You know, after we've booed him for so long, he's earned the right to
Yep,
hold
yep,
this title. Is what I'll say. He has
yep.
earned the right to hold that title.
Mm-hmm.
Proceed with Caution was the victim of a Category 5 storm as Jade goes over on Naomi in what I thought was the best storyline heading into WrestleMania. So your thoughts here, Coach, go with you and then over to Griff.
Yo, to see that black and gold and her in that new music, it made me feel I was warm and fuzzy inside. I was so happy for Naomi. It's a new gimmick.
Yeah.
It's what I've been asking for the last 2 years. Thank God it finally happened. And Triple H said on an interview, I think he said in the press conference, she's embodying this. She's gonna run with it. She has been running with it, and she's gonna do a hell of a job. And as I predicted, even I knew she was gonna lose a match, but she's gonna keep this momentum. She's with this gimmick. She's gonna come back. She's even stronger. Jay, great call. The ladies, for her to finally get on that stage as singles, she looked better. Obviously, just little small things, a little small botch, but she looks better. And those ladies put on the show, and that's only up from there for both of them. Yeah. Good match, great match.
Griff?
I'm just happy to see two of our sisters in singles
Mhm.
competition at a WrestleMania with no stipulation and things inside. It wasn't a bad match. I enjoyed the entrances. I enjoyed their
Yeah.
energy. I enjoyed their good looks and everything,
Mhm.
man. But one thing I will have to say about this match is I believe it's far from done. I think this story is going to continue, and I think they're still going to have more future interactions going forward, especially after inserting themselves in the whole Bianca situation on Friday before too. So I look forward to see the next chapter of this saga
Yeah.
between those two, and if Bianca be swerved back in between these two.
Is Bianca technically a SmackDown wrestler or is she on Raw?
She's
SmackDown.
technically on SmackDown, but at this point, it's like it don't even matter. Like
Just
I
Free
guess
agent.
they got this crisscross thing,
transfer
crossover.
portal is still open. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
crossover they call it.
Well, let's talk about that match. Io Sky gets the dub against Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair. Okay. What are our thoughts here,
Man,
Griff?
great.
Well, that was my whole section. You know what I'm saying? The kickoff of that, Io walks to the ring. The energy was already like going through the whole building, man. When her entrance came through, man, that triple threat match, I loved it. It was the right match to kick off the show. Again, just like we talked about the triple threat from night one, excuse me, with Roman, Punk, and Seth. Everything was smooth, paced. It seemed like those girls were really into it. Nobody seemed like they was nervous. They did everything right and spot on. But y'all know I love Bianca. Y'all know I love Rhea. But I walked in going in for Io and room for Io, and she
Yeah.
retained like I expected. Well deserving as it is. And I'm excited to see this run with Io now that she's on her own versus when she was with Damage Control on her last title run.
Good.
Coach?
I was I wanted Bianca to win. I was appreciative of the show that these ladies put on. We knew, as clunky as the build and storylines and how awkward it was every week, them interacting and mushing EO to the side. I was like, okay, all right, they let her win, and I still believe in my heart of hearts, a heel Bianca champ is the best for business. I'm just thinking because obviously the fans are booing her right now, and I don't think it's going to stop anytime soon. But for one night, I'll give it. Hey, the best woman won, and and that championship is still in a good spot with her, and she's gonna continue to do great things.
Like halfway through the match, I was thinking, like, how can you give this to Rhea and not give it to Bianca, and vice versa? How can you give it to Bianca and not give it to Rhea? And the solution is to not give it to either one of them. Give it to Io Sky, let her carry it, and let them go after her for it. And that makes a lot of sense to me. And I would say it's one of the couple things that they got right in this moment.
Only two retained. Only 2 titles retained that night.
Yeah, and I think they got that one right. That one made sense to me. They got that one right. Yeah. All right. We appreciate y'all for sticking with us, man. We got 2 more matches to discuss, so just stick with us, and we're gonna finish this one up pretty quickly here. But we definitely want to give both of these matches a little bit of air to breathe, because both of them deserve it, and even all the things that are post whatever. But we now live in a WWE universe where the heel gets cheered the loudest, and case in point is 100%.
Know what I mean?
Jacob Fatu.
Yo.
I mean.
What I mean?
What can we say that we haven't already said?
Bruh.
This guy is it, and this guy has it, and shush. Remember, like last year we were saying LA Knight was okay. Never mind. Griff, let's go over to you, brother. What?
Griff won't say nothing. LA Knight, bro. Don't put me in that mix.
Let's go over to you, Griff.
No.
Oh,
Y'all already know how much I enjoyed this one. Oh my goodness. Not just because of Jacob, but y'all already know I'm not an LA Knight guy. Once again, I don't dislike, I don't disrespect, and I don't hate LA Knight. I just don't feel him.
Yeah.
Jacob Fatu going in this match 1-on-1. There was no way LA Knight stood a chance. No. Jacob deserved this, man. And I'm so happy for this dude because, again, a year ago, I stood next to this guy for the first time at his last indie match. And a year later, never would have thought he'll be in the middle of the ring celebrating his first WWE US title like victory, man. That to me, it was just crazy. I literally was in tears, like, God, dog, like, this happened quick. But I always keep reminding myself, like, Jacob always been that guy. He's always been a superstar. He just couldn't get out the indie circuit to get to the main roster. But boy, when he came to his main roster, he blew up. He well deserved this, man. Like, he dog walked this cat, man. I was so glad Solo came to the entrance ramp and took himself back, because I said, I don't want you ringside to interfere. I want this dude to be all gas, no brakes, and dog walked this LA Knight ass the whole night. And that's what he did. And shout out to my boy Jacob Fatu.
Coach, thoughts on this match?
Oh man, I enjoyed it. This guy is a real deal, and ditto everything Griff said. And just to tie it up, Jackie, this is the key element to resurrecting the bloodline story. I think him now could take, him even being in the same, or he got the same aura, just as much aura as Roman, and those two together, that could be trouble.
I know, man. I just, I mean, like I said, we've talked about this guy over and over again every time that we've come on the show, and happy that he won the title, proud that he won the title, and what's next? Like, where are we going from here? Please don't go back to LA Knight. LA Knight, please go find something else to do.
Yes, please.
Let's go do something else. Please. And Jacob Fatu, like, the sky's the limit here, and hopefully they write this one out. And I mean, but I don't think you can miss with this one, right? I don't think you can miss with this guy. There's not too many things that you can do where I'm like, nah, that's not it. Just because he has it, let's just say that. So, what's next? Where are we going next? And last but not least, over to you.
We forgot.
Over to you, Griff. Over to you.
Hey, you got to introduce it. You already know.
Over to you.
Like I said, if he didn't get it done, this was going to be bad. The only way he'll get it done is if he came out and be that dog pit bull Jey Uso. There were points in that match, and credit to Gunther, man. That was not a squash. That wasn't a bad match at all. They literally had a wrestling match, even with the lockup title to begin it. You know what I'm saying? Like, they really had a match, and Jey took some beans and took some hits. However, my boy got it done. He is the champion. I'm happy for him. It was a lot of emotions from a lot of people in there that really rocked. It was behind Jey to finally see him do it. But what got me was the quick tap out submission. I didn't expect that.
What
And
what's that?
here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
I'm sorry.
Let me take it from here,
I
Griff.
have questions. I
Just
have
Coach,
questions,
go ahead,
but
Coach.
Let me
Hey,
take it
y'all
from
know my point. You know how I feel. My man is a champion. I got nothing else to say. Go ahead, Coach. You
the
got
pomp
it.
and circumstance and the fanfare. That was basically the company saying thank you for being the top, merchandise, super, having the superstar with the most merchandise in the company. That's great. That's all of that was thank you and fanfare for him. This guy is a transitional champion. He's gonna drop it right away to Seth or Sammy.
shit.
Don't hate on my boy Dot. No. He ain't defending nothing now. One time, and you already call him a transitional champ. No. Back that up, bro. Stop that.
No.
Stop.
Okay.
No. Stop that. Stop it, bro. Stop it. We ain't got the backlash. We ain't made it SmackDown. Like my man was partying Saturday night with his family, bro. The whole Samoan family, except for Dwayne, was in town. He was lit Saturday. He had Sunday off to get sober. He came out Monday, celebrating with Sammy and Jimmy. Let's see what happened. Quit calling this man something transitional. That was Intercontinental Championship transitional. He's the World Heavyweight Champion. He's man. I'm not finna let you disrespect my boy. That's not happening, bro. We is not speaking that in existence. Let's try this again. Back to you, Coach.
No. I'm gonna stand. I'm 10 toes down on that. No. That's good. That's good stuff. No, I just no. Jackie was just confused. We sitting on the couch. We had, and he'd gone through tests, and I said, no, there needs to be more. I was looking for more drama. That he needed to work harder for that win, in my opinion. Yeah, I'm just saying, like this is Gunther. Like you gotta battle Gunther for longer than that. And then Gunther shouldn't have tapped that way. I would at least like the finish. I just didn't. Let the chokehold was cool, but it had to be that quick. But I just need a little bit more. But honestly, no, man. I honestly believe he's heating up the seat for Seth Rollins.
Coach, you said work harder for the match. Hold on, bro. This man took 10 minutes coming down the stage.
Wait. Hold on.
I'm saying
to beat Gunther, I'm saying I just wanted a little bit more drama. That's all.
I have questions.
Go ahead.
I have questions. And this is for the world. This is not for just Griff. Griff is the resident yeet man when it comes to this podcast. However, I have questions. Now,
oh Lord.
Now, congrats, Jey. I am so happy that you won. Was rooting for you. Yeet. Okay. All right. That's what I'll start with.
Oh, God.
I was happy to see that he wrestled. To Griff's point, he actually locked up. He did a few things differently. It was like, okay, he trying to do something, which he clearly hears people saying he can't wrestle. Okay, he clearly hears that. So he then pulled out a Gunther powerbomb, Roman spear, and then Gunther's chokehold. I'm good with that. I'm good with that because it tells the story of him being in the match with Gunther. I'm good with that. It's very clear. They was like, hey, let me get one of them. Let me get a few of them moves, right? It's very clear. My only objection to that, and here's my question to you, Griff. Here's my question. What happens next? Because I don't know if you really truly beat the you can't wrestle allegations by doing the moves of Gunther, when next week you're going to have to wrestle somebody else to that defense. So you got to defend it at some point. And are you going back to Gunther's moves, or are you then using the moves of whoever you are wrestling at this time? So my question is, did he really beat the you can't wrestle allegations?
That depends on you as an individual. Me as an individual, yeah, it didn't matter what he took out the arsenal or not. For me, he pulled out the moves, he wrestled, he got the job done. So he displayed what he can do. The question, I guess, is will he continue to do that, or will he go back to his arsenal? I think that's more of an individual opinion. For my individual opinion, he defeated that. And guess what? I don't give a shit what anybody say. You can chant all you want to. Like Triple H said, Y'all can talk about Jey Uso all he want to. The man got charisma. He gets it done. That's why he's a champ. And I'm with that. I get what you're saying, but that's what I'm with.
But charisma can only go so far. This has been my argument the whole time. It has not been against Jey. It has not been against anything that he has done. This has been my argument the whole time, Griff. If he is that charismatic guy and that whatever, he also needs to be able to get it done in the ring, because at some point he's got to put on a 20-minute match for me to believe he's the world heavyweight champion. And it can't be based on the moves of the guy that he's wrestling. I'm not saying that he can't wrestle. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is that he used the moves of the guy he's wrestling. So therefore, what happens next when he goes to wrestle somebody else? Is he going to continue to use those moves, or is he going to develop his own? Because those are the moves that he normally does in a 5 to 10 minute match or whatever it may be right now. And I understand he's coming from the tag team scene, so he's developing his own solo art. I understand that. But you got to, like, you're the world heavyweight champion. So now, like, that art needs to be developed by now. My only complaint this whole run with Jey is that, like, you're not getting it done in the ring. That's been my only complaint. The yeet and all of that stuff, that's great. But when they turn the lights on and when they ring that bell, like, are you going to be able to put in a match that's going to make me believe that you can beat the likes of insert names here? Yes, he beat Gunther. Was it right? Was it as grand as it probably could have been? No, but I'm not trying to step on the moment. That's not what I'm doing here, Griff. I'm just asking the questions of, like, okay, yes, I'm with it. Congrats on the yeet shit. That's great. But you got to get it done in the ring at some point. You got to prove to me that you can beat Gunther truly. Right? I'm not stepping on the moment. I do think that he deserved the title. He deserved this WrestleMania moment. He deserved everything that he got. I'm 100% on that. But now, here comes Gunther back at him. And now we know Gunther's a different individual, kayfabe or not, right? Like, you got to be able to tell me that you can beat Gunther consistently throughout this run. That's what being a world heavyweight champion is, that no matter who steps to the plate, you are ready to go. And I don't know, from an in-ring standpoint, if he is there yet. I'm not stepping on the moment. I want him to have the title. Yes, please, I'm absolutely begging him. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong.
Let me recap what you're saying, though, bro. Let me recap what you're saying, okay?
Sure.
Hear me out. Your question was asked to me about my opinion, right? You gave me your thought and your opinion, and here's mine. Mine is basically, yeah, I believe that he got some in his arsenal. But the real fact is, I can't base that off until he defends the title or has a match after that. You feel what I'm saying?
But Griff, you're defending right now, and you don't need to. I'm 100% on board with you, brother. I get it. My only question is, and you're absolutely right. That's your opinion. You can say that you believe Jey is getting the job done, and that's cool. That is it. Now, what I'm saying is, yes, and from an interest standpoint, great. From your perspective, in-ring is great. But I'm saying, like, are we going to take it to the next level of what it actually means to be the world heavyweight champion? And that's where now I'm at a little bit of a pause. To Coach's point, Coach is like, get the title off of him immediately because he's transitional and it was just for the moment. I don't want it to be a Kofi Mania type situation where now we just need to give it back to the next guy. Prove me wrong. Put on a match with a guy like Seth Rollins, right? Put on a 20-minute match. Yeah, if you go over, you go over. But put on a 20-minute match where it actually looks like you're beating the guy that you're wrestling. And make it look like you actually have a shot to beat the guy that you're going against.
And I only said that because I know, like, with him being aligned with Paul Heyman now, you got to put a belt on Seth Rollins. And I'm saying he's smelling that world heavyweight title again. That was just where I was getting that from. I'm not saying they got to drop it tomorrow. I'm just saying I just know where ultimately that Triple H eventually want to put it back on his boy. That's where I was. Yeah,
but that storyline does not need a title in it. That storyline is just three guys that are at the top of their game, and they don't need a storyline. I don't think Jey should be a transitional champion. I don't agree with that necessarily, Coach. But I do think he needs to prove that he's supposed to hold the strap. That's all I'm saying, Griff. I'm not saying that he shouldn't have won.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he shouldn't get all the accolades that he is getting. Very proud to say that I am a Jey Uso fan. However, I am also a Jey Uso critic in the sense that I need to see it, bro. Like, I need to see it consistently is all I'm saying. Did he put on a good match with Gunther? Yes. Did Gunther tap hella early? Like, damn, can we get any type of suspense in this match, bro?
Right.
Like, you know, like, he wrapped you up, he fell, you tapped. Like, damn, like Stone Cold was in the sharpshooter for 3.5 hours. He still might be in that shit. And Jay, like, immediately Gunther, like, give me some suspense. Then I could say, like, okay, he choked him out. Look how long Gunther choked out Pat McAfee. Felt like hours, right? Like and you believe that Gunther was actually choking out Pat McAfee. But the way that they finished that, it made it seem like, oh, okay, let's go ahead and tap out and let's go ahead and give him his moment. Let's yeet a few more times and then let's move on. I don't want it to be that way, Griff. I want to be a fan with you, brother, and I want to root for him. However, I am not going to go past the obvious that there are some glaring issues with what he does in the ring. I'm not saying he can't wrestle, but I am saying that there needs to be some things done a little bit better. I'll leave it at.
But what I'm trying to say, bro, is everything you saying is valid from Jackie's side. What I'm saying is, and this is not just to defend, what I'm saying is being an IC champion and where he's at now is two different things. If I see that there's no improvement, I'm jumping on the borderline with you like, yo, yeah, here we go again. For me, until we see this defense and see how this goes, okay, we don't know if he's going to step up or not. But when asked that, it's like, oh, I want to believe he does. But again, if he doesn't, guess what? I'll critique it just like how you doing. I mean, it is what it is.
Let's not even think about it from in comparing the title runs. Just compare the run to the title. Let's do that, right? Like, the run to the IC title, he wrestled a certain way. The run to the World Championship title, he wrestled the same way, is what I'm saying, right? Like, if to your point, this is not the IC title anymore. So you're saying he needs to step his game up. I'm saying he has wrestled the same way on both runs up to the title. Now, obviously, you're saying, is he going to be able to carry the title? That's what I'm questioning too. So I'm with you. Yes, we don't know the answer to that question yet. But I'm questioning it in a different way than you are because you're optimistic about it. I'm a little bit more pessimistic about it because we've seen the same wrestling match from Jey Uso over the last, let's say, 8 months. That's what I'm saying. I'm with you in hopeful that wherever we go from here is all on the up and up. But what I'm saying is like, we need him to tweak some things in the ring and do them a little bit better is all I'm saying. I'm not saying that he can't wrestle. I can't reiterate that enough. I'm not one of the guys that are saying like, oh, he's terrible at this. No, he absolutely gets you out of your seat whenever he wrestles. But it is consistently the same thing. We're going to get a spear from Jey. We're going to get a splash from Jey. We're going to get a 3 count. Outside of that, what else are we getting? And a super kick, sorry. What else are we getting from Jey?
What else you want from Jey? Outside of that.
What else?
Anything, my guy. That's what I'm saying. Anything. Outside of that, anything at this point. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying he has to be the excellence of execution, but you could see in that match against Gunther a valiant effort to try to make it look like he could wrestle, right? Like him doing the power bomb and stuff like that. When has he ever done a power bomb? He hasn't. And so now they were like, oh, okay, this is the main stage. Let's put on, right? Let's make sure that people walk away from this knowing that you can wrestle. Great. Perfect. I'm glad you did it. I'm glad you made an attempt to show me that he actually can do some other things. That's great. Now, consistently show me that. Consistently come out and give me something different. Give me something new. Yes, you're gonna have your signature moves, but the match can't be the same just because you're a solo act now. The match can't consistently be the same because you're a solo act. Is all I'm saying. I'm not. Again, and you're right, Griff. You are more than entitled to that opinion, brother. And you can feel like Jey is doing everything you need for that. That's perfect. You should be a fan of that. Root, brother, root. Right? And we're not, and this that don't mean that you're a terrible person for feeling that way or for rooting for him. And we don't think that you are. We'll never feel that. But we also are going to disagree at times with this because he just needs to step it up a little bit for me. That's all.
Fair enough.
Where does Gunther go from this, boys? And then we'll get on out.
Into a feud with Pat McAfee.
And Michael Cole.
Wow.
Which actually could be a legitimate thing, right? Like, who knows if Pat is ever going to get back into the ring, and this might be his way of sliding back in. Griff, is that your thought?
You know, I won't think it'll be a feud with Pat McAfee. I think it's one of them, you know, I'm angry, I'm mad, I'm disappointed in myself. I looked embarrassed, I looked weak, I lost the title, and I need to take it out on somebody. It's just like a big bully that get embarrassed. What the bully do next? He go out to the person they can bully and do. And I think that was just Gunther's way of just bullying and just taking it out on someone like a Pat McAfee, Michael Cole, who know they weren't gonna do nothing back in return or retaliate back. So I think it was more of a statement, but more of a bully move statement, just releases anger and frustration. I'm waiting to see because I think there's a rematch that can happen between him and Jey. I don't think that's done, especially the way Gunther lost the match. I mean, you know, he's a ring general, longest reigning Intercontinental Champion. He was embarrassed to lose to Jey, but more importantly, tap out to Jey. And then hearing a tap out chance, that's going to add to his anger more. So again, Jackie, to your point, as you stated just moments ago, anytime you have a rematch with the opponent you took the belt from, they're going to come back more vicious, more stronger, more madder and angry than ever. So the Gunther that Jey faced at Mania in Vegas may not be the Gunther he faces, whether it's Raw or Backlash in St. Louis here in a few weeks. So that's just a wait and see. And that's how I feel it is with Gunther right now.
Yeah, I actually hope Gunther goes on like a rampage here and just, you know, starts attacking everyone. And
not just talent, but just like the officials and security.
Everyone.
Yeah.
I hope he taps out Adam Pearce. Everybody.
He needs a character
that seamstress lady back there, like get her to like everybody.
He needs a character tweak anyway, and this is a good way to.
Hey, Gunther. Anybody except for Jackie Redmond and Kathy Kelly. Just make sure they're out the way. Other than that, do what you got to do, brother.
Leave them alone. Leave them alone. All right, man, let's get on out of here, man. This one's been fun. We had to take a little bit more time to react to what was WrestleMania. Really, really quickly, though, final thought, like really quickly. Final thought, Rusev returns. How do we feel? Coach?
Oh, love it. I chanted Rusev Day as soon as I seen it. Hey, yeah,
Griff.
book him right. Let's get it right, Triple H. Book him right.
Please, Griff.
The rumor was it was going to be Randy's opponent, which I disagree with because, you know, Rusev returned against Randy Orton. Randy Orton needed to go over his 20th match. It would have made Rusev look bad and weak on his first day return.
Good job.
Calling him for Raw and squashing Alpha Academy was the right call. Glad to see him back. And I'm looking forward to seeing this new Rusev under this Triple H regime.
I want Rusev Day, but I also want like a very serious Rusev too. We'll see what happens with that.
Yes.
But we're going to get on out of here, ladies and gentlemen. We appreciate y'all for sticking around with us and listening to us rant about absolutely nothing. So we appreciate y'all. Coach, let the people know where they can find you, man.
All right, you can find your boy, the Coach, on Instagram at Coach Montay 24.
Griff, let the people know.
Find me on Instagram, GriffNation84, and also on X, formerly known as Twitter, CGriff84.
You can find me, Jackie Miles, on Instagram at Jackie Miles 42 and on X as well, Jackie Miles 42. You can find us all on Instagram at Ebony Championship Wrestling and on X at Ebony Championship Rest. Make sure that you like, share, and subscribe to these videos. Hit the bell so that you are notified every time that these videos go out. We appreciate all the love and support. We can't thank you guys enough. Happy WrestleMania season. Hopefully your picks went well, and we'll see y'all next time. Coach,
over.
We tapping out a little bit tonight here, y'all. I'm tired. I ain't gonna lie to you. Shit, man, I am tired.
This is ECW Wrestling signing off, but we never tapping the hell out. Good night, y'all.
Not once, except for tonight. We'll see y'all next time. Peace out.
Peace.